In Kenya, infrastructure and personal responsibility can go a long way in curbing these losses.
We basically looked at the tomato value chain. We found that in some areas, up to 50% of produce is lost, mainly from handling and during transportation. Now compare that to a situation whereby you have people that have absolutely no food. Then you find that as a country we are not actually meeting our produce with the needs that are there out there. So unfortunately, also we do not seem to have concerted focus on how we can manage production and challenges related to post-harvest loss. We picked up conversations with the county governments in the areas where we have been working, and we began to create awareness using this data that we have from studies. And we have gained a lot of attention. And county governments, for example, in Laikipia, Nakuru, as well as Nyandarua, they've begun to put in place policy mechanisms that would help them allow for budgets that would help farmers access markets much more easily. Some of the main concerns we found in particular areas were related also to infrastructure, so that you do not have sufficient roads and they're basically impassable, and when produce comes, then there's absolutely no way of accessing. So such measures, even before we go into serious investment, for example, into the cold chain, basic infrastructure, access routes is one major way of helping farmers to reduce on the post-harvest loss.
Some of the things that we need to do to reduce losses do not even need much investment. It's just awareness creation. Yeah, even for the consumer. One of the targets that have been call to action that is there in the call to action by FAO is to you, the consumer. You know, people think most of the time we talk about government has to do that, and but you as individual also have a role. You have your own action. What you do in your house, yeah, how you keep your food, yeah, because a lot of wastage happens at home, especially for the middle class and the upper class. A lot of food waste happens there. How can we even reduce food waste at your house level? Yeah, that is something you can do and contribute to the bigger goal. So all of us, I think we should know that apart from what we think government should do, we ourselves can do something, because there's wastage that you and I can actually do something about. The food you bought, which you didn't use, what are you doing with it? Yes? Yeah. Remember during when there was that scare of lockdown, and many people, especially the so-called middle class, we stocked a lot of food, right? A lot of food. But then some of this food actually went to expire because, it was panic buying. But then what did you do with excess food? Did you just toss it in the dustbin, or did you donate? Because that's something you can do and contribute to the bigger picture. You have food you didn't use. There are people who are going hungry without food. Can you donate food to these people? Or can you we don't have this concept in Kenya, this concept of food banks and charities, where people actually donate food to these food banks or charities. That food is redistributed, yeah, to the vulnerable groups, like the homeless or people, living in homes or something like that. You see, that's one way. The food that you have in your house that is good, but you haven't used it and it's maybe nearing expiry, you can actually donate.